Today we're talking about your favorite flesh eaters and mine, zombies.
Enter a world of enchantment, of enlightenment, Meg's Magical Mansion.
Come, whoever you are, to Meg's Magical Mansion, a virtual guest house for spiritual wayfarers, a place where the ordinary seems magical, where wisdom is yours for the asking, and where your higher nature is just a wish away. Hey, thanks for joining us here today at the Magical Mansion. I'm Meg, here with my trusty butler, Scallion, and my beautiful little dragon, Miss Alice Poopers. How do you like her new Halloween costume, Scallion? Check it out!
I'm speechless.
She's a little dragon this year.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, she's got a little tail. Whoop, whoop. She's shaking that tail. Oh yes, she's gonna be a dragon. You like your outfit this year? She's very fearsome dragon. Maybe she'll breathe some fire later.
Oh, I want to see her fly.
Yeah. So do you know what we're talking about?
Fly.
No! So do you know what we're talking about today, Scallion?
Zombies!
That's right. Get ready to get your creep on. We're going to talk about them zombies.
Right there.
Right. I want to eat your flesh. Hey, so we're going to talk a lot about the history of zombies, what they represent, what zombies have become since they kind of hit the American shores, what we've kind of done to the zombie as far as Americanizing it. And sit back, because Scallion and Parfait and I have been doing our hardcore research on zombies. I personally took like the origin story of the zombies. Scallion here took like the George Romero Night of the Living Dead version of the zombies, and then Parfait is going to take us into the 21st century with kind of the rage pandemic style of zombies. So sit back, I won't say relax, but hang out, maybe be a little nervous, because today we're going to be talking all about zombies! Ah, good thing I have a dragon to protect me.
I'm out of here.
Yes, it's zombie time, and we all have that sort of funny feeling and fear of the living dead, the zombie, coming after us, going to infect us or eat our brains or gobble up our flesh. And the zombie trope has been around for hundreds of years, probably thousands. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the history of the zombie and how it has impacted American culture and why we have zombies and why we need zombies. The zombie, of course, originated in Haiti and came from African traditions that were commingled with Catholicism of the slave owners and traders, the French and the Spanish, that were on the Isle of Hispaniola, where Haiti and the Dominican Republic are located. And you can see a lot of the African cultures. People were coming from many different areas of Africa, many different cultures, tribes, and origins, languages, different traditions and beliefs, and they were all commingling together with a heavy dose of Catholicism sprinkled on top. And out of this came Vodou, which also morphed into voodoo and hoodoo in the Americas. We are not exactly sure where the word zombie comes from, because there are numerous possible origins amongst the various peoples and languages of the enslaved people who were brought to Haiti against their will. But there were a lot of traditions you could see from Africa, such as the Congo tradition, where they believed once somebody dies, their spirit could be captured or kept in a physical object like a bottle for protection or good luck. But in the Haitian Vodou tradition, there was a belief that sorcerers could capture the corpses soon after death and turn them into mindless workers who do not require rest or food or water, who can just toil day and night forever and ever in the fields, a form of enslavement that not even death could release you from. You can't die when you're already dead, which leaves you enslaved forever with no hope of an afterlife. In Haitian culture, zombies are viewed as victims and treated sympathetically. The poor zombified people have had their souls taken from them and are doomed to an endless life of suffering and work to enrich their master, with no hope of death or an afterlife to end their torment. In 1915, the U.S. occupation of Haiti began, and the zombie got an Americanized makeover. Many racist beliefs about the Haitians were spread throughout the U.S. at this time, including false accounts of devil worship and human sacrifice. To say that the Americans did not understand the spiritual practices of the Haitians would be an understatement. But the stories of zombies captured the American imagination. And the first real zombie movie that we see in America was 1932's White Zombie, which is the story of a young white couple who has come to Haiti, who is being terrorized by these zombies. And the zombies in this movie are created and controlled by a master, played by Bela Lugosi, and are presented very much in the traditional Haitian style of zombies. They are controlled by Bela Lugosi. He made them. He took their corpses out of the grave, and they are his slaves that do his bidding. Of course, we could say a lot about this movie and the way it portrays people of color and Haitian people, but that will be for our movie review coming up perhaps later. However, the point is, we see the whole trope of the zombie coming to America and what the zombie becomes for Americans and becomes popularized in the American mythology as is a loss of free will, a mindlessness. And as you'll see in future zombie incarnations, that is the one thing that remains, is the loss of free will, the mindlessness, the moving and doing and acting without being able to think. And this is why the zombie has come to represent whatever our biggest fears at that time culturally are. For the people of Haiti, their biggest fear was enslavement. They had been torn from their homes. They feel like their souls had been stripped from them and they were just forced to labor for someone else, and their lives were completely controlled by these masters. And you can see how that is a perfect metaphor for the zombie. They felt like they were zombies. So I think as we move forward, we will see that even though the zombie changes, that is one thing that stays the same, is this loss of the ability to think clearly and react rationally. And now Scallion's going to take us a bit forward in time and tell us a little bit more about how the zombie trope was developing in America. Scallion?
Thanks, Meg. Yes, it's Scallion here. You know the American obsession with schlocky horror films in the 1950s and 1960s was bound to influence the zombie paradigm. George Romero's 1968 film Night of the Living Dead completely altered the way we viewed zombies. No longer were zombies poor, soulless beings to be pitied as they worked mindlessly in the fields. These new zombies are now our friends, family, and neighbors. Turned into unrecognizable monsters, these slow-moving, flesh-eating creatures have no master. They just crave flesh. While George Romero never actually used the term zombies to refer to his monsters, the American public quickly began calling them zombies. Night of the Living Dead was clearly a metaphor for the violence and horrors of Jim Crow laws and the subsequent civil rights movement that was taking place in America. Those zombies became a metaphor for the manner in which African Americans were continuously held down and held back, deprived of the many things allowed to white people. This film was a reminder not to allow the society we live in to dumb us down into mindless beings. These new zombies were now seen as villains, no longer victims to be pitied. These zombies were to be feared, and they were relentless in their desire to consume everyone in their path. Although George Romero claims he just cast the best actor for the male lead, having a black man cast as a lead in the 1960s was quite a feat. The fact that the white posse that arrives to rescue the people trapped in that old farmhouse shoot him on sight, even though he's not a zombie, just a black man, only furthers this notion. The subsequent movies that followed, such as Day of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead, continue with this type of zombie. However, in his 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead, George Romero did two things very differently. First, the lead female character, Barbara, was pretty wimpy in the original. In the remake, she is totally kicking zombie butt. And while Ben, the African-American male lead, still gets shot at the end, this time it's because he has become infected and is a zombie, not because he is black. Progress. So the zombies turned from innocent victims who were forced to work for the master who created them into free-roaming, flesh-eating villains who mindlessly destroy everything in their path. And on that cheerful note, here's Parfait to bring us up to date on the modern zombies of today. Parfait?
Hey everyone, Parfait here to tell you all about our modern day 21st century zombies. In our current century, terrorism, war, global warming, genetic engineering, and viral pandemics have created new fears and social anxiety. And these fears are clearly seen in our 21st century zombies. If zombies were the original metaphor for the evils of slavery and then a metaphor for social injustices of the civil rights movement, what kind of metaphors do our modern day zombies represent? And modern day zombies don't necessarily move or behave like those slow, dim-witted predecessors. We now see much more variation in the zombie trope. The zombie doesn't even have to be dead or undead. In fact, any creature who craves the flesh of humans and can't control that desire can be a zombie. Also, victims of mind control who have been programmed, especially in large groups, can be zombies. But sometimes, our modern-day zombies can rise above violence and solve problems, use tools, and even learn to control their insatiable desire to find and eat human flesh. In 1996, the video game Resident Evil was released. In this role-playing game, evil bioweapons are released into the world, creating zombies. And the 1995 terrorist attacks in Japan, where deadly toxins were released into the environment, plus the 9/11 attacks in America in 2001, fueled the fears that created those new zombies. Early pandemics of SARS and H1N1 influenza in 2009 led to fears of viral pandemics, which all culminated in the COVID pandemic of 2020. The spread of deadly viral diseases fueled new panic, which of course show up in the ultimate metaphor for our societal fears and woes, zombies. The pandemic zombie is typically created by a pathogen or escaped virus. This causes a disease that creates horrible mutants or zombies. And the mutated germy zombies can spread death and disease everywhere they go. The 2002 film version of the video game Resident Evil is an example of a pandemic zombie movie. 28 Days Later was also released in 2002, where the rage virus created quick, fast-moving zombies who lack the trademark decaying flesh of earlier zombies. Did they have better skincare? Well, maybe. Anyway, I digress. The zombies do all show that soulless quality we expect, the lack of individual identity and will. So in our modern day zombie, you don't have to be dead or undead. It's a lack of control on the body, plus a removal of individuality that makes a zombie. So, some of the traits of the old Haitian zombies are still in play. And we see films that demonize science as the cause of the zombie invasions, as well as films that hold science up as a shining beacon of hope to save us all. We also see some zombies who have learned to use tools, as in Land of the Dead. Perhaps next we'll see some of our own fears of global warming spawn the eco-zombie. So across centuries, zombies have been the representations of our greatest fears and sorrows, trials and tribulations, an ever-changing metaphor for the evils of our world, slavery, discrimination, disease, our own poisoning of the earth we live on. Zombies have come to represent for all of us our greatest fears of becoming soulless, empty vessels, toiling forever with no relief or end in sight. Ew, if that doesn't sound like the worst fate ever, I don't know what does. Ooh, now I got a real hankering for flesh.
And now it's time for What's the Tea with Parfait?
Hey everybody, Parfait here again with a fabulous drink recipe. Halloween is our favorite time of year around here, and we at the mansion love to, of course, celebrate. Now, we have a great drink for you. It's called the Zombie. Now, the Zombie is a classic cocktail from America's first Polynesian-themed tiki bar, and like I said, a favorite of ours around here any time of year. Now, in order to make this drink, you're going to need a couple things, so let's talk about it. First thing you're going to need is you're going to need some golden rum, and you're going to need some light rum, so we have both of those here. Now we're going to pour everything into a shaker. I only really kind of measure out the alcohol. The rest of it, we just kind of eyeball. Now I'm making this drink for two because Meg always loves a cocktail, and I can't get away making a cocktail around here without making two anyway. So we're going to go ahead and put about 2 ounces of our golden rum in. That should be enough. And then we're going to add 2 ounces of our light rum. Now there's a lot of different rums out there. You figure out what you like. We know what we like around here because let's just say making drinks is one of our favorite hobbies. There we go. Now after you have that, you're going to also want to add your juices. Now for your juices, the first thing you're going to add is about 2 ounces of pineapple juice. A little shaker. There we go. That's about right. And then we're going to add about 2 ounces of our passion fruit. Give that another shake there. Voila. Now you're also going to want to add your lime and lemon juice. We already squeezed that out there so I wouldn't have any trouble with this. So there you go. We're going to add that. After that, you're going to also want to add your simple syrup. Now, with the simple syrup, it's just a dash to taste. Now, we found a great mint one that you can do that also adds a little mint with the simple syrup. So, let's see if we can pop that off. I'm just going to do a little bit in there. Now, after you have your simple syrup in, then you want to do a dash of your bitters. There we go. Now, when Meg's not paying attention around here, I love to go through her stuff. Shh, don't tell her. Now, one of the things I found was a Tiffany spoon. So, I know it's a little big here, but come on, it's Tiffany's. And anytime a girl can use Tiffany's in her daily life, it's always. So we're going to go ahead and give that a nice little stir. Now, you can pour these into bigger glasses, like pint glasses and things, but we love shiny things around here, Tiffany spoons included, but also crystal, so we're going to pour into those. Again, I'm going to use my spoon. Thank you, Meg. And pour right directly in. Now, you can try not to make a mess. I usually always do. There we go. Now afterwards, you're going to want to take a sprig of mint and go ahead and just garnish. There we go. And there you have the zombie. Oh my gosh! Oh, look at that mask. She's been in the other room going through all the masks and things. And we have a lot around here, so. Oh, I like that. Well, I just made zombies. You're just in time. I know, right? So exciting. Well, I don't know how you're going to actually drink one of these with that thing on. Oh, well, you can figure it out, right? Here you go, darling. Cheers. Aww. Fabulous. And there you have a zombie. Oh, I knew she'd figure out how to drink with that thing on. Cheers. Delightful. I hope you enjoy yours as well.
There you go, Miss Poopers. Were you scared of the zombies? Don't be scared of zombies. Oh my goodness. See, I took her wings off so you could get a better look at her dress and her little tail. She's so cute. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little look at the zombies, a brief look. We talked a little bit about the origin story, kind of the Americanization of the zombie and what they've come to represent today. But I think in every one of its manifestations, the zombie has come to represent mindlessness, the loss of soul. And I think when we look around our world, our country, where we're living and how we're living, I think it's pretty clear that we got a lot of zombies running things. So let's all think critically, use our free will, and make decisions that are the best for everyone, not just ourselves. Okay, kids, that's your lecture for today from your witchy mom. Remember, in the words of Buddha, 1,000 candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. So thank you for sharing your time and attention with us here today at Meg's Magical Mansion. Until next time,